Welcome back, guys, to another ASMR video. It has been a month since I was supposed to film the second part of the Fear Street collection. Not only has it been a month for that, I already had filmed previously, before I started this Fear Street collection video, a look into the art of Labyrinth the movie, and the creatures and the basically it's like a little encyclopedia of all of Labyrinth and everything else. And I still have yet to edit that. Now, why has it taken me a month to get back to you guys? Well, I was sick for about a week and a half. It wasn't COVID related. It was I had lost my voice. I do public speaking for a living, and I just lost my voice completely, so there was no way to even attempt to do this. To make it the way it should be. And then when I was ready to start filming, it had been about a week and a half since I'd been here in the game room, and my air conditioner in here had leaked for weeks, and I didn't realize it. So when I came in, the entire floor was covered in water. I think some of the Kingdom Hearts figurines that I had in protective plastic cases, I think got ruined. I'm looking at them now and they look pretty bad. So it took about a week for me to clean up this entire game room. Thank goodness so far I haven't seen that much damage. But yeah, it's taken me about a month to get back in the swing of things. And then some of the shows I've watched lately, there was Resident Evil on Netflix dropped, so I watched all of that. The last season of Jurassic Park, Camp Cretaceous, season 5, 12 episodes of that. There was something else that dropped on Netflix, and I forget exactly what that was, but there were 8 episodes of that, I think. I don't recall. Something had just come out. But anyway, we're back, so let's get started. I forget where I had left off with some of the statistics that we were keeping. I know that whatever math I had done originally was wrong anyway. I had realized that, and I corrected it in hopes of a couple days later being able to film the second part of this, but it's a mess. I don't know where we're at. I do know that I think, if I look at my notes here, we have, I don't know either of this. I think we have 10 books that were $1. We have a few that were $1.50, and then one was $2.95, so I don't have the math on that either. We'll just, if anybody wants to go back and check exactly where we're at here, that's fine, we can do it. But let's go right on into where we left off, the next book in the series, and this is another book that I got at McKay's for $1. So let's rip this sticker off. This is in pretty damn good shape. Watch me wreck it because I'm trying to get this $1 sticker off it. Oh, here we go. We're getting somewhere. Let's be careful here. Good deal. All right. Final grade. Will Lily get an A in murder? Final grade. So, everyone thinks she killed her teacher. Intense, competitive, Lily Bancroft had good reasons to hate him. She lives to win, and he was about to destroy her dreams. But murder? That was going too far, even for someone as driven as Lily. She's innocent, but that hasn't stopped the whispers behind her back, or the weird phone calls late at night. Then someone else is brutally murdered, and suddenly Lily is drawn into a nightmare she can't begin to control. Will her final grade be her last? Then another book for $1 from McKay's. And there's not only is there a $1 sticker on here, which I may just leave on because there's a red sticker as well that's kind of ripped off when I bought this. But again, some of these books, as you see as I go later into the collection on eBay, were $400 or $500. They were that rare. this is no good. This is no good. Let's see if we can salvage. It does not look good for me here. If I go the other direction, maybe. The other one was smooth and it came right off. This is in bad shape here. Yeah, this is... I got most of it. That's good enough for me. So it's switched. You can see the remnants of the sticker I tried to get. And then the orange sticker there. But a mind is a terrible thing to lose. She traded places with a killer. There's a little cabin in the Fear Street woods where a girl can really lose her mind. In fact, she can change it into someone else's. That's what happened to Nicole and Lucy. Now Lucy is in Nicole's body, and Nicole is in Lucy's. What a trip. But for Nicole, what a trap, because Lucy is using Nicole's body to get away with murder. And we have a Fear Street Super Chiller that I was able to get for $1.50 at McKay's. Let me rip this sticker off here. And the book is in pretty good condition with the exception of the binding at the bottom is sort of fraying pretty bad. But other than that, it's in good shape. If this sticker would just, if I could get a, there we go. All right. Bad Moonlight. Nighttime is the right time for terror. She wasn't just crying wolf. Danielle Verona can't believe the band picked her to be the new lead singer. She's on the road performing at all the hot clubs. The adoring fans, the bright lights, it's a dream come true. But when nighttime falls, Danielle can feel the terror in the darkness. There's eerie howling outside her window, and then a band member is killed, ripped to shreds by a wild animal. Danielle knows something is out there, lurking in the moonlight. Something savage and hungry. And then we have a regular, another $1.50 book from McKay's. Okay. College Weekend. She was just dying to visit her boyfriend. Nightmare Weekend. Nothing can ruin Tina Rivers' big weekend at Patterson College with her boyfriend, Josh Martin. She's so excited, she doesn't even mind that her cousin Holly will be tagging along. But when Tina and Holly arrive, Josh is gone. His roommate, Christopher Roberts, says Josh is stuck in the mountains, delayed by car trouble. That's weird. Josh never mentioned he was going away. It gets even weirder when Holly suddenly disappears. But Christopher isn't worried about Holly or Josh. Christopher seems to have the answer to everything. Tina is confused, but one thing is clear. She's about to learn more about love and murder than she ever wanted to know. We have the next few books are part of a trilogy, I believe. Or, yeah. So, the trilogy that I'm about to go over, of the next 4 books, the first 2 came out, then he skipped a book, and then the last one came out. So of the 4, the first 2, and then the last of the 4 came out that I'll go over next. This is another $1.50 book at McKay's, so we're getting pretty good with the value here that I'm getting at McKay's. There's a run here of a bunch that I've gone over. Oh man, this is the best I could do here. So, the book that we're talking about is the Cataluna Chronicles, The Evil Moon. This is the first, I believe, in that trilogy. And it says, turn the key and die. A car to die for. Brian wants the Cataluna more than he's ever wanted anything. The sleek white car is all he can think about. And he'll do whatever it takes to get it, steal, even kill. But Brian is the one who could end up dead. Inside the Cataluna lives an ancient evil, and it wants him. So that's that. And then the second book in the series, also for $1.50, although I just realized there is a rip in the cover. I don't know why, but there is. Let's see if I can this off. Ooh. Somebody put multiple stickers on this thing. This might be impossible to get off. Let's see. Oh, I might get lucky here. Oh boy. Okay, a lot better than I thought. I can just get this off here. And I had to turn the AC off in this room, and it is 7,000 degrees in here. It is so bad. All right, the second book, The Cataluna Chronicles, The Dark Secret. Okay. Don't tell a living soul or a dead one. License to Kill. Stepsisters Regina and Lauren are thrilled they've got their own wheels, and this sexy Cataluna is one hot car. Too hot, because inside the Cataluna, the curse of bad luck Catherine lives on. And while Catherine is hunted in her own time, Regina and Lauren will be haunted in theirs, because in this car, evil is always in the driver's seat. So then he took a break, and a super chiller came out called The New Year's Party. When midnight strikes, they all die. Ring in the new fear. PJ wasn't supposed to die. It was just a practical joke, no big deal. But PJ had a bad heart. The kids at Reenie's Christmas party couldn't tell the police what they'd done, so they hid the body, and then it disappeared. Now someone is killing them, one by one. Someone is taking PJ's revenge. But who? By midnight they'll know, because when the clock chimes, they'll all get a kiss. The kiss of death. And then he finishes the Cataluna Chronicles with the last book entitled The Deadly Fire. Dying in this car is no accident. Death on Wheels. The Doom car has already destroyed race car driver Stan McCloy, but his brother Buddy still can't seem to stay away from it. There's something about that gorgeous Cataluna. Something ancient and evil. But all Buddy sees is a way to win back his girlfriend from Will, the mysterious guy she's been seeing. Just one race and Sarah will be his. Just one explosive race to the death. And we have The Stepsister 2. She's back. The doctor says Nancy is cured. She's over the murderous rage that made her try to kill her sister Emily last year. Now she's home for good. Or evil. Emily wants to forgive and forget, but the nightmare has started all over again. Someone wants to hurt her. Is it Nancy, or is there someone else who wants Emily dead? We have another book called, and this cover is a bit ripped at the bottom here, but What Holly Heard. It was too shocking to tell. Do you want to hear a secret? Holly did. She learned a terrible secret, and now her friends know it too. Someone wants to make sure they never talk about it. Someone who'll go to any length to keep them quiet. Lying, threats, even murder. Then we have the book called The Face. He had something to tell her from beyond the grave. Why can't she remember? They say something horrible happened that day, but Martha can't remember any of it. Not the smallest detail. They say it will come back to her in time. But someone wants her to remember now. She draws his face over and over, the face of a dead boy. She can't control her hand, and she can't remember how he died. But she's going to find the answer, even if it lies with the dead. We have another book from McKay's here, $1.50 title, and it is called Secret Admirer. Someone loves her to death. Her number one fan. Selena is on top of the world. Her acting career at Shadyside High is blossoming. Everyone admires her. So when she starts receiving bouquets of dead flowers from a person called the Sun, she treats them as a joke. But Selena soon realizes that this is no laughing matter. Her understudy is injured in a suspicious accident. Then a speeding car nearly kills her. Selena knows the Sun is responsible, and that her number one fan has become her number one nightmare. Okay, at this point in the Fear Street series, he then started to write what are called Fear Street Sagas. And this is number 1, the first book in the Fear Street Sagas. It even says new series right on the cover. It says a new fear. Evil was his birthright. The Fear name brings fortune and doom. The dark power of the Fear family consumes all those who connected with it. The Fears, those they love and hate, the entire town of Shadyside, all are tainted forever by the evil of the family's curse. No one can escape. Nora Good and Daniel Fear hope to end the curse of the Fear family, but on their wedding day a horrible fire swept through the Fear mansion, taking the life of every member of the doomed family, except one, a new Fear, the child of Nora and Daniel. Will he be able to live his life untouched by the evil of his family, or will the dark forces claim yet another Fear for their own? And then he took a break from the sagas and wrote The Perfect Date. This is another $1.50 book from McKay's. I think the last few that we've ripped off have been $1.50 here. So, well, let me be careful and make sure I can get this entire sticker. Oh boy. Well, I might have pulled this off. Pretty much I did. Okay. Okay. The Perfect Date. Dream date or nightmare? Perfect, perfectly evil. Brady Carlin is getting on with his life. The memory of his girlfriend, killed in a gruesome sledding accident last year, is beginning to fade. Now he's met Rosha Nelson, the girl of his dreams, and he's never been happier. Until Brady starts to see a strange figure with a terribly scarred face following him everywhere. Until the horrible accidents start happening every time Rosha's around. Has dating Rosha made Brady's dreams come true, or brought his worst nightmares back to life? And then the last book in this pile here is The Confession. And this is interesting. There's on the cover here, there's a contest where it says you could win the chance to have R.L. Stine use your story idea in Fear Street, The Best Friend 2. No purchase required. Must be 16 years or younger as of August 1st, 1996, which I would have been. I would have been 12. Void in Puerto Rico and where prohibited. Contest ends August 1st, 1996. See inside for complete rules. So here it says, sometimes the truth can kill you. 5 close friends, 1 murderer. All Julie's friends hated Al. They all wished Al were dead. But that doesn't mean one of them killed him. Julie knows her friends. She knows they are innocent. Until one of them confesses. Julie and her friends promise to keep the killer's secret. After all, they know he would never kill again. Would he? Okay. We have 3 piles left to go. And the next book is The Boy Next Door. They were flirting with death. This guy's got killer looks. Lauren and Crystal think Scott has it all. He's handsome, he's the new star of Shadyside High's football team, and he's moved in right next door. Both girls will do anything, say anything, try anything to get the chance to go out with him. That's all either of them want. But that's all Scott's last girlfriend wanted, too, and now she's dead. We have the second book in the Saga series called House of Whispers. You will never be allowed to leave. Welcome to the House of Fear. The dark power of the Fear family consumes all those connected with it. The Fears, those they love and hate, the entire town of Shadyside, all are tainted forever by the evil of the family's curse. No one can escape. Amy Pierce knows nothing of the terrifying Fear history when she arrives for a visit with Simon and Angelica Fear. Their New Orleans mansion is beautiful, but Amy senses something evil there, something that watches her, waits for her. Will Amy be strong enough to escape the powers controlled by the Fear family? We have another super chiller, and this was also $1.50 at McKay's. So let's rip this sticker off. Okay, we're almost done getting the sticker off, the residue. Okay, did the best we could there. We have Goodnight Kiss 2. It's the kiss of death. Dripping fangs and inhuman thirst. Vampires are stalking the small resort town of Sandy Hollow. Billy knows it. His girlfriend was one of the victims last summer. Now Billy is back, and he wants revenge. His friends don't believe him, but nobody can explain the bodies found on the beach, with 2 puncture holes in the neck, or the swarms of bats that appear each night. The undead are here, and Billy's going to beat them, or join them. Then we have a new series called Fear Street Park, and this is the first book in the series, called The First Scream. Are we having fun yet? Get your ticket for terror. Would you open an amusement park on Fear Street? Would you take the risk and go against the ancient curse of the Fear family? Deidre Bradley's father would. He is opening Fear Park in a few days, but he doesn't know someone or something will do anything to stop him. Soon the screams of joy will turn into screams of terror, and Deidre will be caught in a nightmare ride that never ends. We have another super chiller. This is also $1.50 at McKay's. So it seems that a majority of the regular books were $1, and the super chillers were they marked up, I think, 50 cents more, maybe. That could be me being way wrong there. I don't know. Oh, this is no good. This ain't gonna come off from this side. And also having the last month having this be so hot in here obviously has not helped. There's no air coming into the garage, and it's just so muggy outside that the stickers obviously must have stuck even worse. So this is Silent Night 3. 'Tis the Season to Die. Has Reva been a good girl this year? Rich, snobby Reva Dalby wants a little fame for Christmas, and since her daddy owns Dalby's department store, she can have whatever she wants. Someone else will always pay. Except this year, Reva goes too far. Now someone is watching her, when she's sleeping and when she's awake, until she's dead. We have the second book in the Fear Park series called The Loudest Scream. Buy a Ticket to Terror. Something to fear. Something is very wrong at Fear Park. People keep getting hurt or killed. Deidre Bradley knows this is the worst time to fall in love, but she can't help herself. Robin Fear is so intense and mysterious. He always acts as if he has a big secret. He does. Robin wants to destroy Fear Park, and he has a plan that will cost Deidre her life. Next in the Fear Street series, we have Fear Street Saga number 3. This is also $1.50 from McKay's. Thank you, by the way, to those who reached out to me and asked if everything was okay. Yeah, everything's fine. It's just it took a month for me to get back to you guys doing these videos, and I have a bunch more planned. I have a video game pickup video I need to do. I have a munch pack video I need to do, so I have that other video to edit. I have another art book I'm going to go over with you guys and show you. So there's a bunch of content coming. It's just, unfortunately, a month break is not what I intended. So Fear Street Sagas number 3. She learned to love, honor, and fear. The name of the book is Forbidden Secrets. Bride of Fear. The dark power of the Fear family consumes all those connected with it. The Fears themselves, those they love and hate. No one can escape the evil of the family's curse. Savannah Madison doesn't believe that. She marries Tyler, even though he's a Fear. But then she goes with him to Black Rose Manor. That's when the deaths begin. That's when the horror surrounds her. That's when she learns his terrible secret. And I think this might be the last book in the Fear Park series. It's The Last Scream, book number 3. It's closing time for Deidre. Final revenge. Robin Fear has waited decades for this moment. His evil plan is in place. Deidre Bradley, her father, and Fear Park will be destroyed. Nothing can stop Robin now. except one person who's been watching, finding out Robin's secrets, and waiting for revenge. And we have a regular book in the series called Night Games. Nighttime is the right time for trouble. It also seems to me that whoever this actor is, they have him play every guy in the series. Look, here's a guy, right? And then here's this guy. Look exactly the same. And honestly, you know who this actually looks like? Is an actor, forget his name, but he played the guy, if you've ever seen the TV show Twin Peaks, he played the boyfriend of the dead girl. Forget her name, but he looks just like him. But anyway, Night Games. Nighttime is the right time for trouble. Living on the edge. Diane loves sneaking out in the middle of the night. Her friends do too. They have the town all to themselves. Every night they come up with a new prank to play. But then Diane's boyfriend Lenny wants revenge on a teacher, and the pranks turn to murder. Now Diane and her friends are in too deep. Much too deep, with no way out. Then the next book in the Fear Street Saga series, book number 4, entitled The Sign of Fear. An ancient evil could destroy them. Across the centuries, their lives were linked by evil. Fearin, a young warrior driven by revenge, he created the Fear Amulet and cursed the Fear family for all eternity. Christina, a young servant girl struggling for survival, she found the Fear Amulet centuries later and may be destroyed by its evil. We have another book, regular book in the series called Runaway. There's nowhere to hide. She can't run away from her past. Shadyside. It sounded like such a nice town, the perfect place for a runaway like Felicia. Nobody here would know about her dark powers. Nobody would know what she had done. For one, she could be a normal girl. She could be safe. But someone in Shadyside discovered Felicia's secret. Someone found out about the awful things her powers made her do. Felicia doesn't want to run away again. But if she stays, she might lose control, and then people would start to die. We have a very rare, regular book. I forget how much this cost me, but it was up there. Killer's Kiss. Her lips were sweet and deadly. Kiss life goodbye. Delia and Karina have always been rivals. For the best grades, the most friends, the hottest guys. This year, they both want Vincent, the most popular boy at Shadyside High. Karina is determined to win, no matter what it takes. And if she can't have Vincent, she'll make sure that no one can. We have a $1.50 McKay's book. This is Fear Street Saga number 5. Let's rip this sticker off. See if I can rip the rest of the sticker off. It is... Oh, I've got some of it here. Okay. The Hidden Evil. At last the story could be told. A tale so gruesome, only a fear could tell it. Timothy has a story to tell, a dangerous story, a story that has power over those who listen to it, the power to awaken creatures best left sleeping, the power to summon the dead. It is a story of evil, the worst evil imaginable, the evil in the heart of a child. Come and listen to Timothy's story, if you are not afraid. We have a regular book in the series called All Night Party, Party Till You Drop Dead. The nighttime is the right time for murder. Gretchen Davies and her friends know Fear Island is an awesome place to have a party. You can dance all night, share secrets with your best friends, fall in love, or die. Because there's a madman loose on the island, a killer who plans to spoil the party. The birthday girl gets to go first, of course. Who's next? We have another regular book in the series called The Rich Girl. Would you kill to be rich? Whom can you trust? Emma Naylor and her best friend Sydney Shue always share their secrets, and now they have a big one. They found a duffel bag stuffed with money. They swore never to tell anyone, but Sydney broke her promise. She told her boyfriend Jason about the money. Now Emma is terrified. She doesn't trust Jason, and she thinks he would do anything to get the money for himself, even kill. Then we have Fear Street Sagas number 6, Daughters of Silence. The dead are listening. The Fear family curse spares no one. When Angelica and Simon Fear lost their 2 daughters, it nearly destroyed them. Now the Fears have only one mission, to summon every ounce of dark power within them and bring their daughters back from the dead. It is to be their ultimate act of dark magic, and when it calls for the murders of 2 innocent girls, Simon and Angelica don't hesitate. Their daughters are waiting. We have a regular book in the series called Cat. C-A-T spells murder. The cat came back. Marty never liked the cat. It always got in the way at basketball practice, but he never meant to kill it. Now Marty thinks he's going crazy. He sees cats wherever he goes. He has nightmares about them. He knows they want revenge. Too bad Marty doesn't have 9 lives, because his first one is almost over. We have a super chiller called High Tide. A lifeguard's job can be murder. Blood on the Water. Adam Malfitano still has nightmares about the night his girlfriend Mitzi died. He sees the blood, he sees her in the water. He is a lifeguard and he can't save her. He wakes up screaming. Even worse, he has begun to see Mitzi while he is awake. He knows it is impossible, but she looks so real. He can see her face decaying. What does she want from him? Why won't she leave him alone? He tried to save her. Doesn't she know that? We have another Fear Street Saga and another $1.50 book from McKay's. It's number 7. So let's rip the sticker off here. And we got this one off in one piece. Here we go. Number 7 is called Children of Fear. Innocent or evil? The power of fear. Luke Fear hates hearing the townspeople talk about his younger sister Leah. They call her evil. They say she has unnatural powers. Leah does have a strange talent. She can communicate with animals. But Luke is sure she would never use this gift for evil. At least he was sure before their parents' horrible accident. Now Leah seems so different, so angry. Luke is almost frightened of her. Could his sister's gift destroy them both? And then there's a new series that he wrote called Fear Hall. So the first book in the series is called Fear Hall, The Beginning, the first part of a shocking 2-part special. A special message from Arlstein. Dear readers, come with me to Fear Hall. That's the creepy college dorm built many years ago by the cursed Fear family. Hope and her roommates live in Fear Hall. Hope's boyfriend lives there too. They're all good students and best friends. Everything is going great until one of them becomes a murderer. Now Hope is about to find out that life at Fear Hall can be a real scream. I hope you'll join me for Fear Hall. This story has so many scares, it took me 2 books to tell it all. P.S. You'll never believe what I came up with for the next book. And the last book in this pile is Fear Hall, The Conclusion. Welcome back to the most terrifying dorm on campus. Dear readers, I hope you'll join me for the conclusion of Fear Hall. I think it's one of my scariest finishes ever. Where will Hope go now that her secret has been revealed? Does she realize that her friends aren't real friends? Does she know who the vicious killer really is? Are there more shocking surprises in store for her? Find out the answers in Fear Hall, The Conclusion. I had so much evil fun writing it, I scared myself. So, second to last pile. And we start with Fear Street Sagas number 8, which is another $1.50 book from McKay's. So let's rip the sticker off. This one, oh, not good. came off, but the residue is stuck on there for all eternity. I'll have to deal with that later. Dance of Death. He wanted her heart and her life. A marriage of innocence and evil. After the bizarre deaths of her parents, Madeline never expects to feel happy again. Then she falls in love with Justin Fear, a handsome young doctor. She is warned away from Justin by a young man no one else sees, and an old woman everyone thinks is crazy. They tell her Justin is a man driven by an evil quest that destroys any woman who dares to love him. Is it too late? Can Madeline escape the curse of the Fears? Next is a regular book in the series, but also a $1.50 book from McKay's. Who Killed the Homecoming Queen? And the new queen is dead. Winning isn't everything. Tanya's having the best year of her life. She has a hot new boyfriend, she's landed the starring role in a student film, and she's just been voted homecoming queen. But someone is jealous of Tanya. Someone plans to ruin her perfect year, even if they have to kill her. Will Tanya live to see the homecoming dance? Another regular book in the series, we have Into the Dark, See No Evil. A deadly attraction. Paulette Fox refuses to let her blindness stop her from living a full life. But one thing she's never done is fall in love, until now. Paulette knows Brad Jones is the only guy for her. Even when her friends see Brad commit a horrible crime, Paulette is sure that he's innocent. Her friends tell her he's out of control, that she will be his next victim. But Paulette knows he would never hurt her. Is Paulette right about Brad? Or has her love put her in terrible danger? We have another Fear Street Saga book, and this is another $1.50 book from McKay's. This is Fear Street Saga number 9. Ooh, I got a majority of that off. See if I can get the rest. Heart of the Hunter. The full moon summons the beast. The soul of a boy in the body of a wolf. A medicine woman tells Jamie Fear that she knows how he can win the heart of the girl he loves, but it will cost him. She gives Jamie a potion to drink, and that night when the moon is full, Jamie finds himself transforming into a wolf. With each full moon, he transforms again, but if his true love sees him while he is in the form of a wolf, he will remain a wolf forever. And we have The Best Friend 2. The book you demanded, the contest-winning story that answers the question, what should happen to Honey? And this is, I believe, when the book series started having different covers. This is gone are the old covers, and now these are the new ones type of covers. So the only good friend is a dead friend. Becca is so relieved. She's finally ready to forget all the horrible things her best friend Honey did to her real friends. She can't even forget the way she was blamed for it all. She's completely over it. So why does she keep seeing Honey everywhere she goes? At first she thinks it's her imagination, but then the threats begin. The phone calls late at night, the terrifying messages left in her locker. Honey is back, and this time she won't stop until Becca is dead. We have another book called Trapped. You're Invited to Die. Danger, keep out. There's an old story about the tunnels under Shadyside High. Some kids used to party down there back in the 60s until something horrible happened. Something that left a bunch of people dead. It's just a story, right? There's nothing to be afraid of. Besides, exploring the tunnels is a lot more fun than being stuck in Saturday detention. And it's not as if anything could be down there. But something is. Something dark and evil and no longer human. Too bad there's no turning back, and no one is around to hear your screams. Now we have Fear Street Saga number 10, which is another $1.50 book from McKay's. So let's try to get this sticker off as best as we can, which right now looks like it's going to be ripped a little here. And it is insufferable, the degrees, how hot it is in this room right now. But if I put the AC on, you guys won't be able to hear me, which may be a good thing, who knows. All right, so Fear Street Sagas number 10 is entitled The Awakening Evil. Before the cheerleaders, the evil lived in Sarah Fear. Now the terror begins. Everyone knows the story of the evil that terrorized Corky Cochran and the cheerleaders of Shadyside High, the evil that destroyed Sarah Fear 100 years ago. Everyone thinks they know the story, but the true story has remained hidden. Only Sarah Fear knows where the evil began, what it wants, and why it kills. Read Sarah's story and discover the truth at last. Then we have a super chiller, the first super chiller in the new cover art that Fear Street has. It's $1.50 from McKay's. So let's get this going here. Oops. Let's see what we can do. This is pretty rough. Oh boy. Not good. Okay. Cheerleaders, the evil lives. Before the cheerleaders, the evil lived in Sarah Fear. Well, this is interesting. Okay. Everyone, now the terror continues. Everybody at Shadyside High remembers when Corky Cochran destroyed the evil spirit, the evil that attacked the cheerleaders, the evil that killed Sarah Fear 100 years ago. No one expected the evil to come back. No one knew that there was only one way to defeat it forever. No one knew that the answer lay hidden in Sarah Fear's grave. Now the cheerleaders must discover the secret before it's too late. We have the first Fear Street Saga under the new cover art. It is called New Fear Street Sagas, and it's number 11 in the Saga series. It's called Circle of Fire. Their games have turned to evil. Fear Street Sagas, how the terror began, in education and evil. Mia Saxton hates Miss Pemberthy's school for young ladies. She has no friends there, no one to talk to. Then Mia stumbles across a secret group, a group of girls who practice the dark arts. As she is drawn into their circle, the spells become darker and more dangerous. Mia's worst enemy ends up dead. Will she be next, or can she escape the evil that has been unleashed? Then we have a first Fear Street Super Chiller under the new Fear Street banner. It is number 1. It is called The Stepbrother. Is there a killer in the house? And then there's a bonus letter, Dark Secrets from R.L. Stine. Super Chiller, extreme chills, intense terror. He's come back from the dead to get her. Sandra started having terrifying nightmares right after her new stepbrother moved in. Nightmares about her own death. Nightmares about being murdered. A psychic tells Sandra that she is remembering events from a past life, and the person who murdered her may be after her in this life too. He may be someone close to her, someone living in her very own house. He may be her stepbrother. Then we have New Fear Street number 2, regular book, Campout. Camping can be murder. That's interesting. What is the first? Oh, I see. So the first book in the series of New Fear Street is a super chiller. It happened to be. And here's the second book in the series called Campout. Maria was nervous about going camping from the beginning. But when her two best friends, Beth and Ellen, persuade her to have a girls' campout, she thinks it will be fun. And it is, until they meet 3 boys on the trail. Then accidents begin to happen. Maria almost plunges to her death. A body is found, dead. And Ellen, Beth, and Maria must rely on their wits to escape, or they will be next. Then we have Fear Street Sagas number 12, Chamber of Fear. Can she defeat the evil? Fear Street Sagas, How the Terror Began. Carolyn takes a job as assistant to a famous magician. Carolyn knows her mother died trying to unlock the secrets of the Chamber of Fear, the magician's most dangerous prop. No one has ever entered the chamber and lived. The spirits of those who have tried are trapped in the chamber forever. But Carolyn is determined to take a job with the magician and master the chamber to free her mother's spirit, even if it costs her own life. We have new Fear Street number 3, Scream, Jennifer, Scream. Getting into college can be murder. They knew cheating would be risky, but they never thought it could be deadly. This is a special edition, by the way, it says on the back. When Shelley and her friends cheat on their college placement test, they think they have just secured their future, until Shelley's best friend Jennifer threatens to turn them all in. Now they must prevent the truth from being revealed, and they will stop at nothing, even murder. But their plan backfires, and they suddenly realize that they are the ones in danger. As you can see, it's a special edition right there. Fear Street number 4, The Bad Girl, Some People Just Won't Die. Dawn and Jan never liked science class, but when they stumble across a formula that brings the dead back to life, it becomes their favorite subject. Dawn's best friend Jan came up with the formula. She mixed together a bunch of chemicals from the high school lab. She was just fooling around. She didn't expect anything to happen. But now the formula is bringing things back to life. A frog, a dog, a human being, and they're coming back evil. And now R.L. Stine has a new series within the series called Fear Street Seniors. And they're all super chillers, I believe. Yeah, well, now this happens to be a Fear Street super chiller, the first book in the series. But it's called Let's Party, Episode 1, You're Invited to Die. Is the senior class doomed to die? Josie Maxwell's sure of it. Tricia Conrad had a vision of the whole Shadyside High senior class lying in coffins. And Josie's afraid she's done something to begin the horror. But her stepbrother Josh doesn't believe it. Senior year is going to be the best time of his life. But what if Tricia's prediction is true? Will the seniors die one by one until there's nobody left to graduate? Then we have Fear Street Sagas number 13, Faces of Terror. What happens when wax comes to life? Fear Street Sagas, How the Terror Began. The Secrets of Cliff House. A nightmare convinces Elizabeth Nelson that something terrible has happened to her brother Thomas. So she travels to Cliff House, the home of Thomas's mysterious employer, Peter Gustafson. But there's something strange about Gustafson. He spends his days creating grotesque wax figures, their faces frozen in terror. Now Elizabeth wonders, is Gustafson evil? Evil enough to lie to her? Evil enough to murder her brother? A second book in the senior series is Episode 2, Into Deep, and There's No Way Out. The Doomed Class, the class that won't survive senior year. That's the furthest thing from Kenny Klein's mind. He's too busy with his camp counselor job, and way too interested in Melly, the hot new girl he just met. Kenny has only 2 problems: the strange boy in his group, the one that always wears a mask, and the fact that someone at the camp is trying to kill him. And we have another super chiller, but this is episode 3 of Seniors, called The Thirst. Can a vampire get enough? Senior year is a killer, especially this year at Shadyside High. It's the first day of school, and already the prediction that the seniors will die is coming true. A cheerleader is dead, drained of all her blood. Could this be the work of a vampire, a psycho killer? Dana Palmer and her twin sister Deidre need to find out soon, because all signs show that they will be the next to die. In the last pile, we have Fear Street Seniors number 4, called Episode 4, called No Answer, The Line is Dead. Clarissa Turner is not crazy. Her dead sister Justine really did contact her through a psychic hotline, and Clarissa discovers her sister's death was not an accident, it was murder. Now Clarissa realizes that another Shadyside senior is about to die, and it could be her. Then we have Fear Street Sagas number 14, called One Last Kiss. Can She Resist? And this is in plastic. It came to me this way. The Cold Bite of Fear. Eleanor Rollins' mother was killed by vampires. Now her father is obsessed with killing them. Eleanor just wants a normal life, but that's not possible. Even her handsome neighbor, Trevor Fear, can't protect her from the creatures of the night and their kiss of death. We have Fear Street Seniors number 5, episode 5, Last Chance, Take It or Die. Caught. Mr. Morley is so nice when he catches Mary O'Connor stealing a test. He doesn't tell, he doesn't fail her, she just has to do him a favor. But helping Mr. Morley isn't as easy as it seems. In fact, it could kill her. We have Fear Street Sagas number 15, Door of Death. He won't go back to the grave alone. Fear Street Sagas and How the Terror Began. No one believes the Halloween legend about old Jake Fear, but Amy Burke does. In terrifying visions, she saw Jake Fear rise from the grave and kill her two best friends. She knows this is no tall tale. Jake Fear is coming tomorrow night, but Amy doesn't know that he plans to take her back to his grave as his ghost bride. We have Fear Street Seniors Episode 6, The Gift. You Can Keep It. Jennifer is not herself. Ever since she got the antique necklace, she has been living in a nightmare. She believes the necklace is forcing her to commit terrible crimes. But will it make her kill? Fear Street Seniors number 7, Fight Team Fight. Give me an HELP. Phoebe Yamura loves being a cheerleader, and her senior year at Shadyside High couldn't be more perfect. First she's voted captain of the squad, and now she's seeing Ty Sullivan. But if Phoebe is so perfect, why does somebody want her dead? Then we have Seniors number 8, Sweetheart Evil Heart. Be My Valentine or Else. Ty Sullivan thinks he's so hot, especially since he's seeing 3 girls all at the same time. And when Ty gets a Valentine from the mysterious Amy, he decides to go out with her too. But Amy isn't like the other girls. She's dead. We have Fear Street Sagas number 16, The Hand of Power. The power is in her hand now. Fear Street Sagas, How the Terror Began. Will the past protect her or defeat her? Margaret Fear doesn't like using her strange ability to see into the past. But when her fiancé, Peter Sturdivant, asks her... I can't see with the plastic on here. Okay. Asks her to help him, Margaret agrees. He knows a mysterious source of power is hidden somewhere in his mansion. He's desperate to have it. But then Margaret finds the power, along with its legacy of danger, despair, and death. And we have Fear Street Seniors Super Chiller, Episode 9, Spring Break, Sun, Fun, and Murder. It's spring break. Josh Maxwell is ready to party at Trisha Conrad's ranch in Arizona. Meanwhile, his stepsister Josie is hanging out with a cute college guy back in Shadyside. But Josh and Josie are about to find out that there's no break from the senior curse, and that wherever they go, the evil will follow. Then we have Fear Street Seniors Episode 10, Wicked. They're too hot to handle. Valedictorian. That's all Marla Newman wants, but her chance is quickly slipping away. Then Marla meets 2 juniors who say they can give Marla the power to get anything she wants. Anything. But Marla soon learns that power comes with a price, paid in blood. We have Fear Street Seniors Book 11, Episode 11, I should say, Prom Date. All dressed up to die. Jennifer Fear has just one wish. She wants a date for the prom. Then she meets Duke. He's smart, cool, and really hot. Totally perfect. But Duke isn't as perfect as Jennifer thinks. And now her dream date is turning into a nightmare. And the last book in the senior series, Super Chiller, Book 12, we have Graduation Day. Will anyone get out alive? Who will survive senior year? It's getting closer to graduation, and the kids at Shadyside High are terrified. Who's responsible for the senior curse? Is Count Clarkula really a vampire? Will anyone be alive to graduate? Find out the answers to these questions and more in this action-packed conclusion to the most horrifying senior year in history. That was the last book in the Fear Street series until a few years later, in 2005, they had Fear Street Nights. It was a trilogy of books. The first book was called Moonlight Secrets. They only come out at night. When you can't sleep, there's always nights. It all started with Lewis and Jamie. They were sneaking out late at night to be together. Then their friends started joining in. First at the old burned-down Fear Mansion, later at the local bar, Nights. They called themselves the Night People, and they carefully protected their secret world. No parents, no work, no stress, just chilling with friends in their own private after-hours club. But then the nights turned dark. Unexplainable accidents, evil pranks, and then, later, the killings. The night people know they have to stop the horror all by themselves, or else they risk exposure, not to mention their lives. Things go bump in the night. The second book in the series was called Midnight Games. Someone isn't playing by the rules. When you can't sleep, there's always nights. Dana Fear isn't thrilled about spending her senior year at Shadyside High. The Fear family history goes way back in this town, and she's not so into lugging around the baggage. But then she gets in with the night people. Shadyside's pretty cool when it's 3 a.m. and you're chilling at a bar called Nights with your new best friends. Until the evil returns, and the night people start mysteriously disappearing one by one. Dana swears she has nothing to do with it, but all fingers point in one direction, because there is, after all, a new fear in town. And then the last book in this mini-series was called Darkest Dawn. The horror is not over yet. When you can't sleep, there's always nights. The night people are safe at last. After all the ugly pranks and vicious murders, things have finally returned to normal. The friends who are left are trying to forget and move on, taking comfort by meeting up late night at their old hangout nights. It was the ancient spirit of Angelica Fear that caused all the trouble, and now she's been destroyed once and for all, burned in a fire. But if it's true that the horror is dead, what did Angelica mean when her voice cried out from the flames, "The evil lives"? So, those are the three that came out in 2005, and then starting 9 years later in 2014, all the way up to 2019, there are new Fear Street books. So, here they are, and this will be the end of the video here. But we have, first up, a Fear Street novel called Party Games. Are you dying to play? Welcome to Fear Street. You're not afraid, are you? Yes, people hear creature howls late at night. Dark figures roam the woods where even the birds seem frightened to land. Maybe you've heard there's a curse on the street and a curse on those who live there. But a street can't be evil, can it? Can it? Was that the crash we heard? The sound of these concrete slabs toppling over? My eyes moved to the bottom of the pile. I blinked. I felt a sharp jolt of shock run down my body. I stared at the legs poking out from under the fallen slabs. The long legs. His legs. Oh no. Oh please no. The rest of him, crushed. A concrete slab lay over the middle of his body, his stomach, his chest, crushed beneath its weight. I couldn't breathe. I started to back away from the others, my head spinning. Are any of us going to survive? Are any of us going to get off this island? The next book in the series came out in 2015. It was called Don't Stay Up Late. In the dead of night, the evil one awaits. Welcome to Fear Street. A long moan escaped my throat. I covered my eyes. A girl, I cried. Nate, it's a girl. I don't believe this. His voice came out in a muffled whisper. She's been clawed to pieces. I opened my eyes. The girl's clothes were ripped open. And her stomach was ripped open too. Her guts spilled out onto the pavement. And were those bite marks up and down her body? And then my eyes slowly traveled up to the girl's face, and I recognized her. And the last book in 2015 was called The Lost Girl. The horror doesn't begin until you find her. I picked up my backpack, and there stood Lizzie. Her hand slid down to mine. She laced her fingers with mine. Ouch, I cried out as I felt a sharp pain on the tip of my pointer finger. Startled, I stepped back from her. I saw a silvery pushpin in Lizzie's hand. I raised my finger and watched a tiny droplet of bright red blood appear on the tip. Hey, I cried. What? Lizzie shoved the pin into her own finger. She pulled it out as a trickle of blood appeared on her skin. Then she raised her hand and pressed our two bleeding fingers together. She brought her face close to mine. Now we're bloods, she whispered. And one of the first books of 2016, one of the two, Can You Keep a Secret? Or Are You Dying to Tell? That's impossible. The trees aren't moving. What's wrong with me? The ground started to tilt and sway. The crescent moon trembled as if it was about to fall from the sky. So dizzy. Why do I feel so dizzy? Emmy, are you coming home? It isn't safe out there. My sister's voice sounded a million miles away. I tilted my head back, raised my face to the shimmering moon, and suddenly had such a powerful urge, an urge to open my mouth, to open my soul, and to howl like a wolf, howl out all the wildness inside me, howl and never stop. And then the last book in 2016, The Dead Boyfriend. She's dying to go out with him. Blade and I were perfect together. perfect from that first night we met. That night, it wasn't a perfect night, diary. I ran into Dina Fear that night. I'd lived in Shadyside my whole life and never spoken to anyone from the Fear family. And now my hand is suddenly sweaty and it's hard to grip the pen, remembering, thinking about Dina Fear and all the darkness she brought with her. And poor Blade, my beautiful Blade. Did I have any way of knowing he would be with me for such a short time? Any way of knowing he would die such a horrifying death? I have to stop. My tears are smearing the page, and I'm gripping the pen so tightly now. I want to use it to stab, stab, stab. There was one book in 2017, and this was it. Give Me a Kill. Gretchen leaned forward. She placed her hands on Sid's cheeks and pulled him close. She shut her eyes and kissed him. The cheerleader tryout was a win. Now here I am kissing Sid. Things are finally going my way. He left about 10 minutes later. Gretchen leaned back on the couch, waiting for her heartbeat to slow. She felt as if she were floating on air. A bell ding on her phone startled her out of her dreamy thoughts. She picked her phone up and gazed at a text message on the screen. You could break your neck. A chill tightened the back of Gretchen's neck as she read the words again. The phone dinged again. Another message appeared beneath the first one. Sometimes cheerleaders die. And then in 2018, he created a new trilogy of books called Return to Fear Street. The first one is entitled You May Now Kill the Bride. Two sisters, divided by time, each with a terrible resentment she can barely contain. Two Fear family weddings, decades apart. Each bride will find that the ancient curse that haunts the Fears lives on. It feeds off the evil that courses through their blood. It takes its toll in unexpected ways and allows dark history to repeat itself. In this all-new Fear Street story, family ties bind sisters together till death do they part. The second book in 2018 was entitled The Wrong Girl. Poppy Miller swears she will get payback for Jack Saber's cruel prank that humiliated her in front of all her friends. Then her classmates start turning up dead. All eyes are on Poppy. Is Poppy being framed? Or did the kids of Shadyside High mess with the wrong girl? In this all-new Fear Street story, only one thing's for sure. Someone is out for deadly revenge. And then the last book in the Fear Street series as of now, 2019. This came out. Drop Dead Gorgeous. Morgan Marks is the new girl, and nobody can stop talking about her. She's popular, smart, and beautiful. Everyone wants to be her friend. But her past is veiled in mystery, and no one knows exactly where she came from. Now the annual Linden High Alumni Festival is just around the corner, and Morgan's dark secrets are about to be dug up for all the world to see. So guys, that is the total 123 books of the Fear Street series. Thank you for putting up with me and watching this entire video if you did. I have more content coming on the way. Hopefully this will never happen again where there is a month between videos. I mean, hopefully the AC works perfectly and doesn't leak and everything else, and we can continue doing what I set to do out on the channels to give you guys decent ASMR content. Hopefully you'll like it. So without further ado, I'll end the video, but guys, thanks again. We'll see you next time. Bye.